Hey, James KJKU from the Everyday Ham. I've been playing with the new SpoolTenna Ultra now in the field for a few weeks, and if you want to know how this one stacks up against the original, stay tuned. Spoiler, this one actually fits in your pocket.
Let's start with what shows up in the box. You get the Ultra itself with the carabiner clip already on it, a spool tennis sticker, a per unit field test report. I'll come back to that one. And a SpoolTenna Ultra quick start guide. And you may notice that SpoolTenna green pen. And that pen isn't just swag. The way you deploy this thing is you drop a pen or screwdriver through the center to use it as an axle and walk the wire out. So they literally hand you the tool to do it. It's a nice touch.
Quick background if you're new to these. The SpoolTenna Ultra is a 40-meter end-fed half-wave, resonant on 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters, rated at 100 watts single sideband, 50 watts on CW and digital, and no tuner required. Same electrical design as the original Parks model, a lot of you already know. Same 49 to 1 UNUN, same toroid, same 65 feet of wire. What changed is the package. This is a compact, stripped down build of the same antenna, designed to be the one you actually carry, not the one that lives in the bottom of the bin. So let's talk about what is actually different, because that's the whole story here. The original Parks is a great antenna, but it's bigger and it's heavier. The Ultra shrinks the spool from about 4 3/4 inches across down to a flat 3 inches. Spool tennis says it's roughly the size of a hockey puck. And for those of you in warmer climates who have never had the pleasure of our great northern sport, that's about a deck of cards. Here's the thing though, they didn't shrink it by cutting corners electronically. Same UNUN, same 1.4-inch toroid, same 65 feet of wire. The size and weight savings comes from the build. The Ultra uses a thinner 26 gauge copper-clad steel wire instead of the Park's heavier silicon jacketed copper, and a smaller fiberglass barrel instead of PVC. The backboard even has thermal venting for higher duty cycle work, which if you're running a lot of FT8 like I am, is worth knowing.
For anyone curious what's actually on the inside, I went ahead and opened mine up. 2 screws and you're in. There's the toroid and the winding that handle the impedance matching.
지은 베이비 에이 114 rubbish
And you can see those thermal venting slots are cut right through into the backboard. Same proven guts as the Parks, just in a smaller package. Mostly, I just figured you'd want to see it.
And the weight is the headline. SpoolTenna lists the Ultra at 5.7 ounces and the Parks at 12.5. I put both on my own scale, 159 grams for the Ultra, 353.5 for the Parks. Convert that out and it's 5.6 and 12.5 ounces. So their numbers check out. This really is less than half the weight of the original in a package nearly 2 inches smaller across. One note, the antenna doesn't ship with coax. It's designed to run on a thin, lightweight feed line. I run both of mine with the same one, ABR 174 from ABR Industries in orange, with the ferrites built in. As for performance, it's an end-fed half-wave, so I'm not going to spend this video proving it makes contacts. We all know it works. What I wanted to check was whether it performs to the spec. SpoolTenna rates it under 1.5 to 1 on all 4 bands. This is the sheet that came with mine. When I did my own measurements in the field, it met the requirements. Out in the Parks, deployment is exactly what you'd want from a spool antenna. Rory and I popped the bundle tie, dropped a pen through the center as an axle, and walked it out. No tangles, no fuss. Start to finish, deploy and tear down together ran me about 5 minutes. Connection is a banana plug from the antenna wire with a strain relief loop that hooks over the carabiner. Simple, and it holds. And tear down is the part that sells it. Jim and I cranked the wire back onto the spool, bundle tie on, and dropped it in the bag. Fast in, fast out. That's the whole pitch. Now, in this video, it was our first time doing the spooling, so a little bit of beginner's curve.
Spooler, for the record.
I can appreciate that you have the actual SpoolTenna pen to spool it
Of
on.
course you do. If you're gonna spool, you spool with the actual pen.
I do have a question. Was the pen included?
The pen was included.
Yeah, that's thoughtful. I like
So I'm just gonna get her started, and then I'm gonna spool like a champion. Here's the thing, folks. If you're right-handed, you should put it in your right hand. All right, we're spooling. We're spooling through some pretty tough grass conditions.
The little spool is kind of a little tougher to handle on the spool front.
It is, and I also don't enjoy that clips there.
That wire is definitely,
This wire's nice.
yeah, it is. I was going to say, you can tell.
All right, we're spooling.
There we go.
Spooling. We're spooling. We're moving it to the end of the pen. Ooh, that is a smoother mechanism. I like this smooth.
Yep.
This spool versus the bigger one, actually. Oh, yeah.
Work is with the end of the pen, too. It gets out of your way when you're spooling around.
Yeah. Nice one. I'm using the knobby.
Here's a detail I really appreciated, and it's the kind of thing you only catch by handling it. There's a little metal guard soldered right over the BNC center pin. Brian Young from SpoolTenna actually walked the guys through why it's there when they caught up with him at 4 Days in May.
A small package. I mean, we built this one with a pin guards in it. The idea is you'd like to put it in your pocket.
Yep. Okay.
So you don't want to be tearing it, the VNC pin.
Okay. Yeah. So they've got a piece of metal here that covers over the actual contact in the center, and that's different from this one too.
That's right.
So that's just giving it a little bit of extra robust protection in the pocket.
So that's the whole idea. This is an antenna built to ride in your pocket, and that little guard is there so it survives the trip. Small touch, but it really tells you they actually designed the thing to be carried. And that's really the difference in one shot. The Ultra disappears in your pocket and stays there. The Parks, yeah, same grade antenna. It's just not gonna go in your jeans. So who's this for? As of today, the Ultra runs $169 and the Park is $149, a $20 premium. And here's how I'd think about it. If you're working out in the back of a truck or off a picnic table, the Park does everything you need and saves you the $20. But if you're hiking in, packing light, or you just want an antenna that's always in the bag and takes up less room, the Ultra is generally worth the upgrade. That's coming from someone who owns both and reaches for the Ultra now. If you got questions about the Ultra or you're running one yourself, drop it in the comments. We make sure we read them all, and we'll catch you on the next one. 73.